Welcome to another episode of ICT 2022 Mentorship Backtesting. This is number 3, and we are looking at the Micro E-mini NASDAQ 100 for Wednesday, December 20th, 2023. On the daily, it still looks bullish, but like I said in my first video, we're due for a retracement back to an imbalance. Switching over to the 1 hour and then skipping ahead to about 7 a.m. On the hourly, we have a fair value gap that's created. Massive move down at 3 a.m., creating an imbalance. We also, as we move to the 15-minute, we will be marking sell side liquidity around here, and we can see as the market opens at 8:30 and into 9:30, get a fairly large fair value gap forming. On the 5-minute, we certainly has some imbalance and displacement. Let's watch this play out. In relation especially to the midnight open. Skipping ahead, here we are on the 5-minute. As you can see, if we were to draw out some of these fair value gaps, there's not really an opportunity to hop in that I can tell. An argument could be made. There are some fair value gaps over here that it bounced into, but I just don't like those. I don't feel confident in that strategy. It's not what I understood as a takeaway from the mentorship. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to let this entire move just pass by and focus and look for a trade in the afternoon. Again, huge rally up, a pullback, consolidation, a move up, relative equal highs. It's moving down, takes out this low, creates an imbalance, does not trade back up into it, keeps moving down, a large move downwards, small little fair value gap here, and retraces back. So hopping down to the 4-minute, looking for a potential trade. This right here is the trade that I'm looking at, this fair value gap opening up, and then 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes later, it's trading up into it during all three of these candles before it moved down. What's our target? Let's put on the annotations. Okay, I noted the 15-minute and 1 hour fair value gaps earlier. Here they are, drawn out. Midnight open, previous day high, previous day low, sell side, which I mentioned. And I'm marking this as buy side in case it, not knowing that it's moving down yet, I could see that potentially getting taken out in the afternoon. I will call this a market structure shift. However, I am not an expert at finding that out right now. I can see this potentially. Some of these lows taken out, taken out, taken out, taken out. A number of those actually could be where we could take a trade, a market structure shift happening. As you can see, only one of them really forms a fair value gap that we trade back into. That's the move I'm looking at on the 4-minute chart. So zooming in a little, here's our gap, and we move up into it, we move through it, and we do not go to our stop, which is good. Potentially taking our trade, aiming at 50% in our fair value gap here. Now I'm going to admit I don't know if I did the fib correctly. I tried several places. I am sticking with right now just this recent move. It could make more sense to go up here or up here or up here or up there. Either way, these all sort of, this retracement is getting still in our zone between our entrance and our stop. Looking at our targets, so you can tell it really wants to move, backing up a ways. Here our fair value gap forms, trades up into it, again, move downwards. Where does it want to draw? Certainly wants to draw, in my opinion, to the 1 hour fair value gap, potentially the 15-minute fair value gap. And then eventually this sell side liquidity. That is a very big move. You want to take the low-hanging fruit. Where is that? Well, we don't know. It's already moved down past this low. You could argue that low, pass through the fair value gap 1 hour, or hitting the top of this 15-minute fair value gap. That would be a potential profit taking. But what I did is I targeted this one on the fib, which you could argue is quite close to that, this low over here. So my trade plan here is taking partials right here and then holding to the end of the day to see if it gets to this sell side liquidity. I do not, there's so much room that I absolutely do not think it would ever get to this previous day low. In all honesty, if I was trading this live, I would probably take my second profit right here. But live is incremental. Live pans out like this. Moves down, pulls back, pierces down, pulls back, pierces down, pulls back, crushes through, hits our partial, pulls back. Now what do? Well, you've paid the trader, and then what? Do you roll the die and see how much lower it goes? Do you look for a you move your stop? I'm still figuring that out. Practice wise, you move your stop and you look to see if it's taking out any order blocks, I suppose. That I'm also fairly terrible at. There wasn't a lot of information about order blocks. He just mentioned it many times. So that's something for me to study. So yeah, it's not really showing any signs of flipping to bearish, bullish, excuse me. Oh, what a move. Just inches away. Now it's like, okay, obviously it wants to hit this, possibly even the previous day low. Not going to be greedy, going to stick with this sell side. There we go. So we take our first partial here, take our second partial down here, call it a day. What happens next? Boom, takes out previous day low. And just keeps on going down. I mean, what a redonkulous move. It's just a monster in the making. When I looked at it, I was like, where is it drawing to? It's like, well, there maybe, down here maybe, maybe there. And let's see, this is only 2:30, get another hour of trading. Boom. What does it do? Doesn't quite takes all that I mentioned, but not quite here yet. Still some time left. A lot of time left. Let's jump this up to 4 o'clock. Where does that go to? Oh my goodness, it takes out 757.25. Definitely takes this out. Misses that by a quarter. Misses that by 3/4. Oof. Unbelievable. So, to recap, the overall result, profit, initial profit, 34.5 points, holding until sell side for an additional 72, well, separately, 72.5 points. For trading 4 contracts on the Micro E-mini, That's $138 on the first move and $290 on the second move for a total of $428 profit. Total time, 36 minutes. That's trade time. All right, that's a wrap. Till next time.